Howdy YouTube, Paul, Attempted Auto. Welcome or welcome back. We are doing another video on the green disease. However, this isn't the introduction that I planned on having. I apparently lost that video clip and a couple others. So I'm trying to put this video together anyways. If there's a couple scenes that just don't seem like they're in place, it's probably because the stuff that would have made sense is gone. But I hope you enjoy it anyways. Let's get going. Let's work on the wiring issues and some of the interior problems. First off, this seat is still stuck. It's rusted. The controls are rusted to the point where I can't move the seat forward and backwards. So I'm going to remove the seat. I'm going to see if I can do anything with the tracks. And even though, here, let me spin you around. Even though the seat's kind of ugly, I actually kind of like that the interior is all here. So I might just see if I can come up with a reupholstering kit and see if I can figure out how to reupholster the seats. If I can save these seats and leave this interior kind of stock, I'll do that. I don't mind it at all. But I got to get it out because I got to fix the tracks, and also I want to be able to assess the floor underneath it. The front floor looks really good. The back floor is gone. I don't know what's in between. So we're going to pull this out. We're going to get that crappy carpet that's still stuck under there out, get it cleaned up, see what I need for patch panels, if I just need the rear or if I need the whole floors. The other thing, grab you again, if you can see that nasty puddle down there, the heater core has dumped. So I'm gonna have to drain that all out, clean that out a little bit, and bypass it, order a new one of them. I do think my first step today though is to get this seat out, see what's underneath it. That'll give me better access under the dash. I'm going to try to get some wiring figured out, see if we can get some lights working, see if I can figure out the broken blinker. Probably have to pull the steering wheel to do that. So today, let's just work on getting this interior out, figuring out maybe some of my wiring gremlins, taking a look at the floor to see what I need to order for sheet metal. Now, I did already order the rear tail light panel. That should be here sometime this week, so I can get that welded in. I also ordered a battery tray because I knew that was the other thing bad. Oh, this headliner's got to go too. That'll be another thing that I rip out of this car. But anyways, let's get started on getting this seat out and taking a look at the floor, and I don't know, we'll go from there. All right, hopefully I'll be able to get these seats off. Feels like a ½ inch. Well, turned. Kind of rough that I can't move the seat, so I'm stuck reaching under. Hopefully the front ones I can get to. I said that I was hoping to reuse these seats, but what I'm looking at, I don't know how good the springs are going to be in these things. They look quite rusted. I'll have to see if they're repairable. Here, let me show you real quick. Looks to me like they're pretty thin. I don't know if you can see them at all, but well, they might actually be all right. Okay, I'll get you back over here. And I'll see if we get these 4 bolts out, get this seat out of here, and find out what I need for a floor. Like I said, they sell these floors whole. They sell them by the quarter, they sell them by the half, so whatever I need I can come up with. I just need to know what I need. I'd rather leave as much factory stuff as I can instead of changing out metal that it doesn't need to be, just because it's neat that this thing's 50 years old and, you know, I'll still be able to have factory floors in it, maybe. Okay, one down. Let's see if I can feel this one. Oh, maybe. I hate to have to put the open end on it. Try a 12-sided wrench. See if that'll give me a better angle. I don't really want it to break off in the floor. That'll make some work for me too. Let's see what you do. Oh, all right, it's gonna go. Okay, last one. Oh, I got lucky. All 4 of these, well, this one's not out yet, but it's going easy. All 4 of these are just gonna unthread for me. All right, there it is, the last bolt. Well, hopefully the last bolt. Let's lift up on this thing and see if it moves. Oh, all right. Well, that's good. So we should be able to get the seat out of here now. Let's move you around someplace and see if I can get the seat out. Oh, seat belt. Seat belt. Well, all right. So we got the rest of the spring to the seat. We got a quarter. Nope, we got a nickel. Throw that up there. A little bit of garbage. This tunnel is not in very good shape at all. That's really disturbing. That looks like it was made on purpose. Here's a rust hole though. Carpet's wet. Oh, that's for probably the crank. Keep that. It's I mean, the tunnel's bad. I'm gonna probably have to make the tunnel back here. Unless the back floor section has that. This is scaly, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to put some little grinder on it with a wire wheel and see what is left. All in all, though, honestly, I think it's salvageable. I can, as long as it's solid around this, I can maybe patch this. Just make a patch for it. Same with this. This is actually cut out of here. That's not a rust hole. So that's acceptable. Get that cleaned up. I'm gonna get the back seat out too. Well, we're not terrible. That's pretty concerning to me. That tunnel holds a lot of the strength of these bodies. let's go see what the other side looks like. Alright. So that must be for our seatbelt buzzer. Is that a ground strap? Maybe. So, like I said, again, the floor is available in halves, full floor, half floor, or even quarters. This one's pretty scaly. I'm afraid, especially up here, if I don't replace it, I'm not going to have anything to weld to. It's just going to be a problem in the future. So I may do, I don't know. Might do I don't know, guys. What do you think? The front floors are really good. I mean, like, really good. That one has a spot, but it's definitely patchable. This one, I don't see any holes in it, but this one is really scaly, like everywhere. And then, of course, the back is totally gone. I'm going to remove these seats, see what's back there. From underneath, it looked really good back there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to find, but yeah, I don't know. I was hoping that it would be an easier decision. I'm kind of leaning to replacing under the seats as well, which means probably buying the two halves and then fixing the tunnel. I really don't want to replace the whole floor because I don't want to have to deal with bracing and squaring and everything else. If I do one side and then fix the tunnel and then do the other side, it's probably all right. Maybe I can do 3 corners, do this whole side and then just the back over there. Maybe that would be the wise thing to do. I don't know. I'm going to clean up the rest of this mess so that we can actually see it good. I'm going to get all of this junk out of the back seat so we can see what that floor looks like, and then I'll bring you back and we'll figure something out. Okay, I've mostly cleaned this out. Set you someplace where you can see what's going on. You get this back seat out of here. That's some mangled wires. I've already kicked the front off. If you don't know how a GM seat comes off, it's got a catch on each side, so you actually push this back, it'll release from the wires, then you can lift it up and pull it out. Like so. Get myself so I woke up yesterday with a knee that just didn't want to cooperate. So I'm fighting with that a little bit, guys. Oops. Alright, so what do we got back here? I've got the dome light. Nice. Let's start over here. First tool, we got a screwdriver that's really rusted. Ooh, another cassette. Oh, still empty. An exhaust donut, another exhaust donut, nothing in that, insulation, some styrofoam. You know what, I do have those. It appears that I have floors, so that's good. Set them away. Not sure what that is. red clay. But I have floors. What feels like relatively solid floors. This is the catch I was talking about. Oh, got a hole up here. Got a hole up here. Alright, transmission tunnel. Screwdriver. Let's get through here in the back. Oh. Same spot. Phone jack. A wrench. Oops. True Craft. A True Craft wrench. The very 1980s comb. That spent a lot of time in somebody's back pocket, I'll bet. 7/16 Craftsman socket. Oh, this was a change purse, right? Chin strap. That almost looks like the old. It's ceramic, like the old fuel filters. I don't know what that is. I guess piece of vacuum line. More red clay. A couple acorns. Not sure. Oh, that's wood. That's a piece of wood. Huh. Not sure. Oh, see the roaches? A couple of roaches. See them go? All right. So there you have it. It's bad in the corners here. Bad in the corners here. Everything else up here, at least, looks all right. So I guess I gotta go look at what the floor patch panels actually cover and then make my decision by what would make the most sense for floors. But all in all, I'm okay with this. I mean, even as bad as it is where my feet are, I'm okay with this. This is all very patchable. So get this cleaned up the rest of the way, and then we'll start getting our tester in here and seeing if we have power anywhere. So let me work on this. I'll bring you back and I'll show you what we got. Okay, that escalated quickly. So I'm not getting any power transfer in that switch, my ignition switch. Now if you watch right here, this is the rod. You can see that the linkage is actually doing what it's supposed to. But again, I'm getting no power transfer through this plug right here. So that means that I have to get an ignition switch for this car. Now they're not that expensive, so that's no big deal. Now up here, this is just flopping the blinker shifter, so I gotta get this apart. In the process of getting this apart and getting better access to that, I removed the instrument cluster, and I found that my printed circuit board is just total garbage here. So I'm gonna have to rewire this, build this all with wires, which it's a pain, but it's not that big of a deal. So that's gotta happen, and that's gotta get changed, and I still have to dig deeper into the steering column to find out what I got going on in here. Hopefully it's just, you know, whatever, a loose screw or something, but that's a replaceable part also. So yeah, I've got pretty much every connector needs to be taken apart, cleaned, replaced, something. So I'm gonna be digging into the dash for a little while. This is broken, my turn signal switch. Again, available part. I'm gonna order this, I'm gonna order that. In the meantime, I'm gonna keep digging through the wiring. I'll bring you along for that. Hopefully we can get this all straightened out under the dash. And look at the dirt in here. Ugh. So we got a lot of cleaning up to do in this car. I might just keep on going. I believe I ordered the heater core. If not, it's in my cart on Rock Auto. But I'm gonna get the heater core. I might as well go through all of this. I'm gonna order some pieces for the floor, and so I can have this thing structurally sound and hopefully with a working dash, and that would be a good place to be. Oh, I guess we'll start with the master cylinder. I think I want an extension. Maybe. And then on the steering, I don't know if I want to pull the rag joint apart or if I want to take the coupler below that apart. I guess we'll get this off and then see. These someplace where I can lose them. I remember this bolt being a real pain. I gotta get this panel off of here and get it cleaned up. Got some pine straw and stuff down in there. I don't want to rot away. Okay. Will you come out of the way for me? Probably not. Hopefully we didn't break any brake lines. I think we'll be alright. Ooh, that one's really rusty. I might be replacing brake lines on this anyways. I didn't realize how bad they were. Alright. So I'll get the other two bolts out of that so that the bracket's free from the firewall. Then I can go inside and loosen up all the smaller ones. Maybe. Alright, let's see what that did for me. Okay, so with the master cylinder loose, or off, that frees up most of this bracket. But it's also under the steering column. If I remember right, there's a bolt like right up through the middle of this. That's easier to access with this down. I think I can probably push it low enough, but at this point we'll just go back out under there, take the steering column right out of the car, and then I should have no problem getting at the rest of this bracket. And then that'll all be taken care of. That'll give me better access to the firewall, so I can just keep on digging. I don't know if you noticed on the first Nova video, there are some giant holes in that transmission tunnel that make no sense to me. So we're gonna have to weld some patches into that. We did tuck the temperature probe right through there, so I'll have to do something with that too, something better. I'm gonna keep going though. I'm gonna get the steering column out. I'll start, I guess, with these bolts here, and then I'll take the rag joint apart out there, drop the linkage, and this should pull straight out. So let me get working on that real quick. Oh boy. Wonder if there's a nut on the back side of that. No, it's coming. Ugh. So, yeah, it's a good thing we're taking it apart and cleaning it up. We'll get some paint on that firewall too. Come on now. Down there. So I got some kind of a rubber seal. I guess it'll come with it. 1, 2. Any others? Doesn't feel like it. There we go. All right. So I still got the shift linkage out there, and I got that rag joint to pull apart. Let's see what we can do with that. Hopefully this cotter pin, it was pretty, oh, let me get that out of the way. The cotter pin was pretty thin. So yeah, that should just be. I'm thinking I'm not going to go back with this setup. I'm going to try to find, I don't know, something that'll work better with the headers. You know, I might have to get a tool to get this apart. All right, let me go find a tool. All right, so I have that apart now. Oh, where'd it go? Right here. Right down here. That came out. I had to actually break that cotter key. I have the bolt out, if you can see that or not, right here. If you can get in there. So hopefully I can just get something behind this and just pry that whole thing out. Let's see if I can get you at an angle where you can see. Oh yeah, that's gonna come right out. Look at that. Nope, maybe not. Spoke too soon. Alright, see if I can get in there and pull, see if it comes out. Let's see. There, just got some wires in my way. Well, that's been must have been my doing here. All right. Purple. So that's my neutral safety switch right there. I haven't tested that yet. I got some speaker wire wrapped around here. Yeah, I haven't tested the neutral safety switch yet. So we got purple, green, pink, and then yellow. Let me get these apart then. And hopefully after that, I should be able to pull this whole thing out. Ooh, got a lot of corrosion in there. That might be part of our problem. Yeah. All right, more stuff to clean, that's all. All right, let me finish taking this apart, get this out of here, and yeah, then we'll see what's next. All right, so the brake pedal is now out, and as you can see, here's the stuck brake problem. There's a spring right here that's supposed to be returning it, but there's just so much rust on it that it's not doing anything. So I'm going to tear this apart. It's got a pin in it. We'll knock that pin out, clean all the rust off, clean this thing all up, and get that back in. Got the steering column out. I haven't tested the neutral safety switch. We just talked about that, but I'll give it a good cleaning and hopefully it'll be okay as well. I'm just gonna blow through that, clean it all up. I have a replacement switch. I have a replacement for the blinker. So I'm gonna get this thing all done, and then these two should be able to go back in. Now back up under here, I might pull the bulkhead block apart and just see what it looks like behind that fuse panel. All in all, the harness under the dash, you could see some corrosion that I got to deal with, but it hasn't been chewed on as far as I can tell. I mean, all the wiring, the tape and stuff is good. It really hasn't been butchered as far as people hacking stuff into it. There's a couple hangers like this. Not too bad. I'll probably pull it all the way out, like I said, along with the fuse block and the bulkhead. Then I can go through it a little better. But I'm going to keep digging into this dash. I still got a heater core to deal with. Once this is out, I'm going to get this all cleaned up, painted. I'll add some sound deadener to the firewall, at least, not onto the floor yet. That way I can get that back together normal, and I won't have to look at it again. All right, so like everything else, things just keep escalating. So try to get the toe kick panels off. I'm gonna have to take the sill plates off, and it looks like I'm gonna have to take this pillar trim off, which means that I got to take the trim up on the roof here off as well. I'm gonna try to maybe sneak this under for now, but I definitely have to get the sill up. So let's see if that comes up for me. You can see as I'm digging away, it's a little rough up here. I guess I should have done this up by the garage where I can get power to it. I might have to drag a generator over here and grind away. So we'll have to do some work for sure on this thing. But let's get this off and see what kind of damage we have behind there, at least. Well, one's coming out. I guess I should have brought my gun over here too. Wasn't really expecting to have to take a million nuts and bolts and screws out. Well, two is coming out. Trying to figure out what order. There's two of the 5, I guess. We'll get to see what kind of shape the sills are in as well. There we go. So I'm trying to figure out the best order as I proceed. Oh, there we go. Well, they're all actually unthreading, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I got some metal under here. one's full of water. I did buy some seals. Oh, that's full of water. Right speaker. Oh, it's actually very good metal though. Look at that, huh? I mean, that's beautiful, actually. I mean, even where I thought it was bad, it's just dirt. All right, so now let's see if I can get this panel out. I think that whole vent has to come out with it. Because I have everything for a screw that I can see out, but they're still together. There we go. All right, so let's look together what we got in here. That'll live. That's not bad. A lot of dirt in that box. A lot of solid crap in there. I don't know if I can pick that out. Oh, did I bring a screwdriver in here that'll do that? So I'll make sure I still have metal underneath there. Feels like I do. Awkward angle. The good news is my finger's not going through. Oh, I say that just as I think my finger went through. Nope, it's just more dirt. As far as I can tell, we're gonna be good in this corner. I guess it's some ice. Alright, well, you don't need to watch me break that up for too long. Let me dig the rest of that corner out, and then I'll get that panel off. Pull the wiring out, and then I think we're ready to start cleaning this up. Alright, so this side's liable to be more of the same. We'll get this out. Hopefully it's as nice. Then we'll get the fuse panel out, which is right up, oh, turn, right up there. We'll get the e-brake unit. This thing is locked up tight. We'll see if maybe we can soak that out. I think with what I'm finding on that firewall, we're gonna have to get this over to the garage and attack it with the welder. But let me get it stripped out clean. We'll take a look at it. That'll actually probably be a benefit because I have I gotta weld some floors in it, and that's gonna require being at the garage anyways. So I'll finish stripping here, and then we'll come on there, get on there. Bad angle. So I'll get whatever I can off of the car here, and then I'll get some help getting this thing pushed to the garage and clean up the firewall, weld a floor into it, and see how that does. We're gonna end up with quite a bit of work. I am so tangled up in wires here. We got so much time in between our videos on this car, which kind of bothers me. I'm sure you guys have been waiting. it's just, that's how it was, man. I think I'm gonna do 15 minutes worth of work, and I find 5 hours worth of work behind it. Good news is, I guess, that pretty soon, you know, we're gonna have a pretty tight car when I'm done. I do plan on keeping this car for a very, very long time. All right, let's see what we got under this one. Oh, did I miss a screw? I missed a screw. This one will be the problem screw. It's always got to be one, right? There we go. That makes me feel pretty good when it looks like that. That's pretty good. All right, I think I have all the screws out of this. Set you someplace you're not too crooked. Let's see, do I have them all? I do. Next question, will I need, oh, that's crunchy. Well, I need the e-brake out of the way. Oops. It looks like I will. Of course. All right, so I guess I gotta pull this unit out of the way. All right, so it was 2 bolts out on the firewall. Oh, but it's stuck behind. Everything fights everything. So I have one more, let me get you over here. I have one more screw in the kick plate, which is behind this, but it's pinched behind that. So let's see what I can do here real quick. I can push that forward. That was easy. All right, so now I just have a cable to deal with, which I should be able just to pop out through here. Maybe. That's wrecking the wiring harness. Alright. Fun stuff. Come on now. Come on, let go. Alright, so this is what I'm fighting with now. I gotta get this clip off so I can bring that cable up and out. Let me get that. Let me get this toe kick. Alright, so that's off. Should be able to get that out of here now. We got some work to do on that thing. I got the last screw out. Take this thing out of here. And it's a little bit worn. How are we looking over here? About the same, not too bad. I got metal all the way down into there, feels like. Got a bug to kill. Alright, so we got metal everywhere. That's a good sign. So we got metal down in there. That's good. All right. So the only thing left to do is pull the fuse panel out, the fuse block. Go up from the outside and the bulkhead. I want to show you real quick. Come up and around. So I did notice when I was taking the e-brake out, those bolts were over here on this side. But right here, if you can see it or not, I don't know, there's a rust hole around that screw also. So another hole that needs to be repaired. So I think it makes the most sense at this point just to bring this thing right to the garage. Once I get that bulkhead and the wiring out, I'm just going to bring it to the garage. We're going to just empty it out, and we're going to do all of the floors, all of the firewall, and get all of this done for now. Then I don't have to think about it. I'm not sure this dash pad, I ordered just a cheapo cover, and that'll probably be good for now, except looking at it, like, this would be the absolute best time to replace it. But I mean, how much more do we want to wait on for parts? I gotta think about it. I gotta see if I want to do that right now or not. But anyways, let's get that bulkhead out of here, shove this thing up to the garage. So now that I have the wiring harness out of the car, let me just show you something. This is the condition of the connectors inside. Look, some of these are just floating. They're not hooked to anything anymore. They're just all blown apart. And if you can look in there, I don't know if I have the sun pointed at you, it's just rotted to nothing left. So this harness is junk. Now, that's a problem, because I was hoping in this video to have it temporarily wired, and, well, not like wired correctly for the small block that's in it now. We were going to change all the wiring out, but I was going to wait till I put the Generation 3 small block in it. See what I did there, right? You guys lose your mind when I say I'm LS swapping it. But if I say it's a Generation 3 small block, then we'll see if I can get away with that. Anyways, we're kind of stuck. We're kind of, you know, dead in the water with wiring. So, and that was the whole purpose of this video. So do I end it here? We still have all the components that are good to go in. We still have a lot of good connectors on this. I guess we're gonna just finish that up in the next video. Let's get this thing over to the garage. Let's get the firewall patched, get the floors in it, and I guess we'll have to cut it loose at that point, and we'll do something different in the next video. But I guess as far as the wiring goes, as far as making this thing run, you know, with the key, blinkers and all that, that's gonna just have to wait till later. I think I'm at the point now, though, where I can shove this up to the garage, empty it out, and fire up the grinder, put you on time lapse, and just clean this thing up. All right, well, I traded hats because I got myself all sweated up. Spin you around, but I've got it all cleaned out, vacuumed out. Found some holes. Anyways, all that's left to do, I already got my ear protection in. I'm gonna put on my safety glasses. I'm gonna put you on time lapse, and I'm gonna start cleaning this floor, and see what we have left of the floor when I'm done with you. Probably a little bit dirty, but here's where I'm at. The floors, like I thought, the driver's side front floor, pretty good shape. I do have, that hole didn't open up too much, but I do have that hole to, rust hole to fix. And then over by the bulkhead, the electrical, on the top right corner, you can see a rust hole there. That's got to be fixed. There was a little bit more. I was hoping that I could just make a patch for this mess here, but I blew some other holes on the driver's side under the seat. Now the passenger side, kind of hit and miss. It was actually better than I thought up here, and actually the firewall is pretty decent other than a couple little spots, those that they made in that rust hole up there. And then one of the holes, I don't know if I can get into it or not. One of the holes for the HVAC is a little rusted out. But the passenger floor got bad fast coming back. Under the seat, that's going to have to be done. Now here is the brace underneath here, and if you look at it, it's really clean. This floor rusted from the carpet down. It actually, looking up, the floor looks pretty good everywhere. But the brace is good, but it's got a few spots in front of it that I think I should probably run this patch the whole length, or at least to here, like from here back. The whole passenger side's going to need done. Okay, so my plan right now, looking at it, is I'm going to replace the driver's side from about the front of this brace back. I'm going to butt weld right on that brace, or maybe overlap. Maybe I'll just clean this up and I'll overlap it and spot weld it onto it, and then replace the driver's side all the way back. The passenger side, I'm liable to change this whole piece. I'm gonna have to at least go from this bracket, or this little brace here, back. This is where probably the transmission mount is. At least from there back, it's gonna need to be replaced. On the very back, the tunnel itself, across the top of the tunnel, it's not bad, but the sides, they come up pretty high where it's bad. Now the patch panel is tall, but not this tall, so I'm going to end up having to make a patch there and probably here. My biggest surprise though was just how bad it was behind the back seat. I'm going to need both sides full patches on this. Now the patch panel that I bought has the hump and all, but I'm not going to cut into this if I don't have to. So I'll probably just have a seam somewhere here, somewhere there in these pieces. But again, I don't know, it rusted through, like top down. I guess I need better light, but I can look into the rear frame rail here, and it's as clean as that one up front. It's in really good shape, so it's actually not going to be bad. So again, my plan will be to get the whole driver's side completely done. That way the car is still locked together, and then I will start tearing the passenger side up. So that's where we're at. These panels here are going to have to come out, so I might as well get rid of them now so I don't catch them on fire. The seam sealer, I'll take them out. I'll do a little exploration when I take this out, see what I have for braces, see how the floor is seamed to that box on the sides of the cars, and then I'll figure out what I need to do. So let's get tearing into this side. Let's get tearing into this side and see what I end up with. For the guys that commented that this thing should have been left in the junkyard, I just want you to look at these braces on the inside. They are absolutely perfect. I mean, there's not a speck of rust anywhere. They're perfect. I'm going to clean these up. I'm going to clean these edges up. We'll spot weld to them. I'm going to put some weld through primer on these. I really hate the stuff, but I got to protect it. Now I was thinking while I was doing this, the floor actually has a lip on it, and it goes down underneath. It's down here. But this is in good shape on both this side and even the bad side. It's in good shape all the way down through. Of course, I got the floor pan in my way, but this edge, I mean, there's a bad spot here, but the edge itself is still really clean. So I'm thinking that I'm going to leave this. I'm just going to grind it down to bare metal. I'm going to, my patch panel ends like right here, and then this back panel starts right at these seat supports. So they will overlap. I think I'm going to put this floor in first, and then I will seam the back piece over top of it. We'll see how that goes, and I want to see how much coverage I'm going to have over all this junk here. I'm going to keep cutting. I'm going to get this out right to the edge of this for now. That'll give me enough to weld the new paddle in. Then I'm going to rust treat all of this. But it's getting late. You can see I'm pretty dirty. I won't be able to film too much longer. So I'm going to just pretty these edges up now. And tomorrow we'll come back and cut the patch panel to size. Do some of the prep work and maybe fire up the welder. Get this driver's side done, then we'll move over to the passenger side. It's a rainy day. I can't really drag my tools out. You can see it's rained a lot. There's actually standing water under the car. But being a rainy day, I thought it'd be a good chance to track down why it's making a puddle. And I was hoping that it was a leaky windshield. But when I got looking around, poking around, you see it dripping off the gas pedal. You can see it dripping a little bit here. Let's see if I can get my hand in here. But if you look, right above the gas pedal, where that cowl is, it's rotted out. There's a hole, a rust hole, I can't get my hand into. Right here, there's a rust hole in the car. See? So, I decided I better pull the cowl off. Okay, so finding a rust hole there, decided I better pull the cowl off. I gotta get the wipers off still, but I took the trim off and it's like packed with crap all the way around. So I was picking at this stuff and I noticed that there's nothing holding this windshield in. I've never in my life run into that. So another thing that I have to deal with, so this has to come off next. I gotta clean all of the crap out, figure out how I'm going to patch that hole. I guess this is going to get prepped because it's pretty rusty. Hopefully it's good around the windshield. So it looks like a new windshield's going into this before I can even get back to the floors. So once again, the green disease just does not want to be saved. And it's just going to keep on fighting me. Okay, good morning. Next day. Sun is sort of out. Hopefully I'll have a dry enough day that I can work on this. Came out early to clean up the crap that was still in this channel here. I'm gonna vacuum this all out, but I figured if I break it up now, the sun might dry this out. If you look, I found a little more rot. Now this is several layers thick. I'm just gonna treat that. If this is the worst of it, I'm just gonna treat that and pretend it never existed. So I got that all cleaned up. I'm gonna run the vacuum through here, but I guess first we'll get this glass out. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever seen, and I had never had glass just pop out like this. But I guess that old, what'd they call it, the tape, butyl tape or whatever. I guess that's why the factory never used that stuff in these years. So hey, look at that, got some money. So let's see how well this cleans out. Oh, I still got some trim pieces to take off. The other thing I'm dealing with is I took that wire brush to the hood here and I got some pretty deep pit, so I'm gonna have to take this hood down to bare metal soon if I want to save it also. But let me get this all cleaned up and we'll see what it looks like. Not the best news here. I got a hole in the A-pillar here. I got a little bit of rot here, a little bit up here. The bottom layer of metal is good. It's just the top level or layer. I'll see what it looks like when I clean it up. This is going to need patched. I got a few spots here, on here, and on that side you can see quite a bit on the edge of the dash. That A-pillar is actually okay. It does have one little spot right here. So I'm going to get the reel grinder out and blow a whole bunch of holes in this, and then we'll start patching that up. I'm hoping I don't have to pull this fender yet. Hoping I can patch this up properly without pulling this fender. I'm sure I'm going to find some junk under it, but I'll worry about that when I'm doing paint. Okay, so we're making patches. I cut this out. The shrinker and the stretcher, I've kind of got it to shape. It's a little tall up top, but I'm just going to cut it right here once I have it so that I'm happy with its fit. You can see it's all blown apart. So I have other chunks of metal that, oops, no, that's right, that I'll be working in as I go. So here's where I'm at. Like I said, I'm close. I'm not quite there yet. I got a little bit more to stretch over here, I think, and then it should fit in. Then I'll cut this out and weld it in, and I don't know, move on to the next piece. So what I was hoping would be, you know, an hour of cleanup is going to be an all-day job, but I got to get it done, so I'm gonna keep picking away at it. All right, so I'm patching a little bit. I got my first corner piece. I have the next piece in, but they butt against each other, so I got to get this in to make sure this is going to be right. So I'm just stitching this up for now. We're getting there. I'm gonna come across the bottom here. I'm gonna do a little hammer work in here to try to close that gap up. But yeah, let me get that filled in, and then I'll bring you back. There. Take care of that. All right, back to the real work. Alright, so I'm just going to keep working those stitches around. Like I said, when I drilled these, I lifted that a little bit, but that should push down. So I'm just going to finish stitching this up, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so it's kind of de-rusted, kind of roughed up. I did run the vacuum, suck all the dirt out of it. This ended up a little bit more holy than I wanted it, but it's all going to be under the pad. And again, it's plenty strong for what it is. So I'm going to take some grease and oil, dirt remover, clean this, wipe this all down. The plan is some rust converter, some 2-part epoxy primer. I'll probably then take a little bit of putty and see if I can flatten that out a little bit, sand that down, some high build primer, and then paint it green. Alright, so in true green disease fashion, what was a little hole over the gas pedal, see if I can get this camera in here, is now this gaping hole across the top of the firewall. So I've cut out a pattern. This fits pretty well. It's going to need a little bit of tweaking once it's metal, but I'm going to go see if I have a piece of, I don't know, hood or fender or something that I can cut that shape out of, and then I'll get putting it back in there. So yeah, This car's just gonna fight me, but I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat it. So let me go find some metal and cut this thing out, and I don't know, see what the next battle's gonna be. Later, because yesterday it rained. Windshield is in, it's all dry, holding good. I can undo it. I rolled the windows back up. Come back around for you. We got a little bit of fingerprints on here that I gotta scrape off. Hopefully it's not a problem. Hope not. We'll figure it out. We did not use primer because the seal that I used says that it is primer free. So hopefully that won't be an issue for us. And hopefully leaving this stuff on, being primer free, hopefully it doesn't etch the glass, and it was a big mistake not getting this off. But I wanted to show you this. It rained yesterday, and look, for the first time since I've owned this car, I have dry floors. Excellent. So back to the floors. This patch is really close to ready. I do want to spray some weld through primer on the back side of this. Then we will start tacking it in. I'll get you in there for that. But what we're going to do is we're going to work this edge. Since this is going to be a butt weld, we're going to work it first, and then we're going to just kind of slowly spread this out towards that back edge, because that's just going to be plug welded. So that shouldn't matter as much. We're going to keep our heat low if we can, and just slowly, methodically work it in. Once it's in, we're going to jump to this side over here. When I have these two sides in, then we'll take that seat out and we'll worry about the back. So let me get that sprayed with some rust or weld through paint, and get the welder all set up, and we'll start buzzing this thing in. So I've got this fit kind of how I want it. Gonna have to kind of work this seam in. I did throw self-tapper up front, one on the side here to kind of keep it from wiggling around. We'll start on this corner. Like I said, we'll work our way down this seam. I still have a bad spot in here that I gotta kind of cut out and patch. So I'll probably stop about here, pick back up around here, and then I'll patch this afterwards. I forgot, but it'll be alright. It looks like I'm a little overlapped, so I have a screwdriver kind of help me work it how I need it. So we'll see what happens. Didn't take. Maybe I need to, no, I guess that'll be alright.
Pop her back in. This panel is mostly done. Like I said, I got a little bit of some patchwork to do here. The patch panel kicked out a little bit. Now the other side has a little bit of a kick out. I don't know if you can see it or not right here. This side didn't, or doesn't. So, not a big deal. I'm gonna just cut a small patch just to get rid of this junk metal here and get that closed up. I got that stitched all the way around. I haven't done any grinding, so it's still pretty ugly, but that's all right. I'll get it down somewhat smooth. Some of these spot welds, because of the size of them, like I really wished I had paid attention to my drill bit, but because of the size of them, I ended up putting a lot of heat in there and kind of blew some of the edges out. So once I grind these down, I might have to do a little bit of touch up on a couple of these. That one you can see. Well, maybe you can't. That one, this one here, I've got some rough edges. So when I grind that flat, I'm gonna have some voids that I'm gonna have to take care of. So the edges are stitched, as well as my spot welds filled in. So, all right, I guess this I'll grind down flat. This back panel will overlap this about this far. That'll be all good. And I am running out of daylight, so I'm gonna get this side here cut out and at least rough fitted before I run out of daylight completely. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll get that side buzzed in and maybe get this back piece trimmed and fit. And hopefully by this weekend, I got full floors in this thing. And I'm saying that hopefully it's done by this weekend because once again, we're in for 2 days of nothing but rain. And I got a lot of stuff to do on this car still. So I'm gonna get that cut out. if I run into anything weird, I'll bring you in, but chances are I'm just going to blow that panel out, fit the other one roughly. Tomorrow we'll finish it up and weld it in, stitch it in, and then we'll work on some of the little pieces and patches to do. But okay, so I have it down pretty close. I got a blunder here, got too far back, and then this I'm gonna have to pull it out to match the patch. I might have to do some trimming here, but I'll work it in as I go. You can see everywhere else though I'm pretty good. Once I set some tappers in here, self tappers, and push this down where it belongs, I'm gonna be really good on that seam. I've got all my holes drilled. Problem is I've got about 20 minutes or so left of filming light, so I'm probably just going to screw this down, zip it down, at least stick it tonight with the welder, and then I guess I'll bring you back tomorrow. We can finish it up unless I get it tonight and get that back piece in. And then I got just a couple little pieces and patches up on the firewall, or up on the firewall in the tunnel here, and then the other side, so we'll have to knock them out too. We'll do that when we do this back piece, I guess. But if I can get this in tonight, that'll be a big win. So I'm gonna just put the camera down and see if I can get it done. Pretty much all stitched in. I still have these patches, of course, but all the way around on the back it's looking good. This is just going to get some seam sealer. My plan is just to prime everything, put the seam sealer on, and then paint it black. I'm just going to use Rust-Oleum inside. That'll be fine. Underneath, that's where I'll put the, I don't know, the chassis paint, probably Sweet Patina Blackout on this car. You can see though that I still have this back piece to work on both sides. So as you can see by the glass, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of welding today because I don't want to drag the welder out. But I can get all of the patches fitted, ready to go, so that when I get a couple hours of weather where I can drag the welder out, I can buzz these in. That should possibly happen this afternoon, but I don't know. I'll see how much prep work I can get for this morning. I still have this ugliness right here to take care of on this tunnel, where I gotta blend that in better. I don't know what happened to my welds over here. I'm gonna have to grind that down and find out why that went so ugly. Then we still got those couple of patches up on the tunnel. I have no idea. If anybody can figure this one out, right there. If anybody can figure out what could have been that high up onto the tunnel, onto the firewall. It's got square holes in it. I mean, they had carriage bolts holding something that went through there, but I have no idea what. But if you can figure that out, let me know. But anyways, I'm gonna drag some tools in here. I'm gonna, I don't think I'm gonna replace the whole thing because the tunnel's looking really good there. I'm probably just gonna make patch panels as I need them for what I have to cut out. I'm probably gonna have to remove the back seat to do this, but I'll see as we get picking away. So let's get this piece out, see what I need to actually get into, cut away, do what I gotta do. So I decided I was just gonna cut this whole piece out and replace it with the whole panel, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I stopped to fit this, because if you look on the hatchback, apparently they're different. Look at the tunnel, it drops down and then comes over into this, whereas on this panel it's straight across from the tunnel. It has provisions for the back seat. The shape is just a little bit different. It looks like I am going to be just splitting this at the tunnel, and working this panel in. I don't know if this shape is exactly the same or not. I got to figure out what to do around that bracket. I wanted to show you these frame rails though, just like the front ones. I mean, they're in really, really good shape. Yeah, it rained again. All it does is rain anymore. Let me show you where we're at though. This side is all in, it just needs finished. You can see I haven't finished all the seams up. And if you look, I was actually really good all the way across, except for that right there. I got some gappage. And then I got a spot right here, you know, where I did the old bend, 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 bend break instead of cutting it. I'll end up with a patch there. I meant to pretty that up before I fit the back piece, but you know, it was fitting good, so I just buzzed it in. So the only other issue is I have one spot right here where when I shine my flashlight through, I can still see daylight. So I'm gonna weld that in, grind it off and weld it in. I have those patches on the firewall started. I can see daylight through the top one. I don't know if you can with a camera angle. So I got to clean them up and weld them good. That one right there is a really rotten angle to try to stitch up, but I'll get another layer of weld on that and that should be good. Okay, so I'm gonna get all of that done, blow that patch out in the back, lightly grind everything down, fix my spots that I can see through, and then I'll bring you back and we'll see how it came out. See you in a few minutes. So when I said I was just going to grind it down lightly, this is exactly what I meant. This is as far as I'm going to go on this side. Really just trying to I'll get it so that I can make sure that my welds have penetrated good and so that my sound deadening stuff will stick. So you can see it's pretty good. I have a spot right here that I'm going to have to fill in, and then I had a void over here as well. I think one little dot right here, right there. So I got 3 on this side. I'm gonna go knock the other side down, clean all of this mess out, hit those couple spots, see if I have any on the other side, and then this will be complete. Okay, you're not gonna believe this, but it started raining again. Yay. But I didn't get a chance to clean it because I had to pull my tools away. So you can see it will still leak through the holes in the firewall. So nothing more I can do with it today. I think this rain's in for the rest of the night. But it's done. Floor is done. The floor is done. It's all ground down. It's all welded in. I patched the last little pieces. It's just gonna rain. I was hoping to treat the rust today, just spray this whole thing down with some rust reformer, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen till tomorrow. Guys, I'm gonna call this the end of this video because I've made you guys wait 4 months. I've been picking away on it. It's just been problem after problem after problem, but we got a solid base now. The dash is apart. I've got all of those pieces. Well, I've got most of those pieces ready to go. It's got a floor in it now. It's a solid car. It's ready to build. Quickly though, we've got still to deal with the wiring harness. That one's junk. I ordered one. It's 5 months back ordered. I'm gonna have to do something different for that. I don't have a fan shroud. I don't have brakes yet. I still have to replace the rear sail panel. It's in bad shape. I have one. It's just a little more welding. I don't have a bench seat. I gotta get some buckets for this thing from the junkyard, I guess. I want to get this headliner out of here, a rear view mirror in it. I gotta readjust that front fender, driver's front fender, because that dent in apparently pushed it over. I can't close the hood. I gotta align the hood and put the hood on it. That's all the stuff that I didn't know I needed to deal with. Then we still have it running rich. I still am only running on 7 cylinders, and I don't have an exhaust system underneath this thing yet.
I got a lot to do. I got 1 month exactly till Power Tour. So, video's not, well, the video's stopping, the work is not. Tomorrow, I'm hitting it again. We're gonna go right back into this car. That'll be the following video. In that video, I better make it run. I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient. Stick around, see how this car turns out. I want this thing on Power Tour. And like I said, I've got 30 days. So wish me luck, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.